The PlayStation Plus Collection is a library of 20 games that can be accessed by any PlayStation 5 owner who is currently a member of Sony's subscription service, PlayStation Plus. The collection features several high-quality PlayStation 4 titles that you may have missed last generation, but with 20 on offer, it can be hard to decide which ones to play first. If you're feeling overwhelmed by choice, don't worry, we've got your back. As long-time PlayStation fans, we've compiled our list of the 10 best games available as part of the PlayStation Plus collection on PlayStation 5. Hello, I'm Liam, and before we start today's video, if you could like it and subscribe to the channel, it would really help us out. Days Gone received a bit of a bad rap upon its original release in 2019. Lambasted as a derivative open-world adventure that had few original ideas of its own, the game failed to find a foothold compared to other releases at the time. Ultimately, Days Gone quietly bowed out of the general gaming conversation, becoming one of the PlayStation 4's most forgettable releases. But over the past year, developer Sony Bend has tweaked and fixed many issues that make the game better today than it was when it originally hit shop shelves. Throw in some PlayStation 5 enhancements, and its inclusion as part of the PlayStation Plus collection, there's no better time to discover the world of Days Gone. Protagonist Deacon St. John's adventure through the zombie-riddled state of Oregon is a surprisingly compelling one, with a core narrative that contains enough twists and turns to keep you interested when you're not fighting hordes of freakers or completing side activities. Perhaps best of all, the game looks stunning in native 4K, running at a smooth 60 frames per second on Sony's next-gen system. It may be a PlayStation 4 game, but the release looks right at home on the PlayStation 5. If you're looking to show off the power of your shiny new system, Days Gone is a surprisingly great example of what's possible. With a sequel potentially on the way, do yourself a favour and get stuck into the desolate post-apocalyptic world of Days Gone. Sony Bend have done a lot to improve the game, like I mentioned, but one thing they can't change is the fact that Deacon St. John gets married in the game wearing like a denim vest and a baseball cap. His own wedding, baseball cap. I can't not mention that, it's ridiculous. With the 16th entry on the horizon, now's the perfect time to jump into the world of Final Fantasy XV. The Royal Edition, included within the PlayStation Plus collection, contains nearly every piece of post-launch DLC, too, making this pretty much the complete Final Fantasy XV experience. Prince Noctis and his gang of lovely anime boys are the perfect road trip companions, with the majority of the game taking place within the Shining Regalia, a convertible car that zips the crew through the quiet open world towards their next adventure. Turn-based combat has been replaced with real-time battling, allowing you to smack big creatures on the head and zap them with magic whenever you feel like it. Sure, its long and torturous development has left it all feeling a bit bloated and at times a tad messy, but it helps to create a game that feels substantially different to other entries in the series. A notable achievement, considering this is the 15th one. A cult classic action RPG that fans of either genre can't afford to miss. Next up, we have something a little bit different. One of the most unique titles available within this collection, The Last Guardian is the third game developed by Team Ico, the studio behind PlayStation 2 hits Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. I'll state this right up top. The Last Guardian won't be for everyone. It's tough to control and is more than a little janky, but stick with it and you'll uncover something truly special. While navigating crumbling ruins, players must rely on the help of Trico, a griffin-like creature who is not the subservient AI companion many may expect it to be. The game forces you to build a bond with this humongous animal, encouraging them to reliably assist you as the adventure progresses. It's this central relationship that you build with Trico that forms the backbone of the entire experience. The Last Guardian is moving, memorable, and oddly calming too, and I'm really happy more people can experience this really unique game thanks to to the PlayStation Plus collection. Nathan Drake's final outing is easily his finest. A globe-trotting romp stuffed with breathtaking set pieces, Uncharted 4 saw developer Naughty Dog firing on all cylinders when bringing their PlayStation 3 blockbuster franchise over to the PlayStation 4. With a stronger focus on narrative and character development this time around, A Thief's End is as much a heart-wrenching tale about obsession, love, and loss as it is a third-person shooter. That's not to say the combat isn't as thrilling as ever, though, with Nate's new grappling hook making firefights more dynamic and engaging than in previous installments. It still looks great 4 years after its original release too, making it the perfect game to experience on your brand new system. A riveting treat. There's also a lot of rumours that the secret Sony studio are working on a new Uncharted adventure, so all the more reason to catch up on Nathan Drake's stuff before that one inevitably comes out. Also, there's the movie starring little Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg as Sully. That's a choice, isn't it? That's a real choice to cast him as Sully. Even upon its original release in 2015, Fallout 4 felt a little bit dated. An aging engine already began to show its rough edges during the PlayStation 3 era, which made the lack of advancements for Bethesda Studios' PlayStation 4 outing feel all the more noticeable. But that doesn't stop Fallout 4 from being a superb RPG that's worth revisiting 5 years later. Yeah, it's buggy and rough, but isn't that all part of the charm? When the core experience is this immersive, engaging, and most of all fun, it's easy to gloss over the cracks. Post-apocalyptic Boston is a treat to explore, whether you're shooting super mutants, scrounging for caps, or chatting to likeable NPCs, Fallout 4 never has a dull moment. Throw in some fully customizable settlements that allow you to build the grotty wasteland villages of your dreams, and you have a deep RPG that provides hundreds of hours of nuclear-infused content as part of your PlayStation Plus subscription. And once you're done, you can pick up a bunch of extra DLC to expand the base game that little bit more. Microsoft recently bought out Bethesda, which makes it tricky to know if future games in the Fallout and Elder Scrolls series will make their way over to Sony systems this generation. Even more reason to check out Fallout 4 while it's free on your PlayStation 5. An essential game for any PlayStation owner, The Last of Us Remastered is 5th on our list. Despite being little more than a slightly polished PlayStation 3 game, The Last of Us Remastered is an all-time classic that's just as affecting in 2020 as it was upon its original release in 2013. Joel and Ellie's adventure across post-apocalyptic America is both brutal and beautiful, with the pair forming a powerful bond as they attempt to uncover a cure for a deadly virus that transforms human beings into violent infected. Combat combines stealth mechanics with intense third-person firefights that see you attempting to manage precious resources while outwitting deadly adversaries. This remastered release also includes the game's DLC, Left Behind, a side story that's as good as the original game. Definitely add this to your library if you're new to the PlayStation ecosystem or you're interested in picking up this year's sequel. Playing the original game before jumping into part 2 isn't just recommended, I'd argue it's required. We've talked a lot about Capcom's wonderful monster hunting modernization over the years, but it bears repeating once again. Monster Hunter World is fantastic, hence why it's 4th on our list. For those unfamiliar with the series, Monster Hunter is all about killing huge monsters within several exotic locations. Tasked with dispatching a small number of creatures, the core gameplay loop revolves around preparation and patience more than anything else. Players stock up on health items before tracking down a big toothed nasty. Once discovered, battles can take up to half an hour at a time, as you gradually chip away at the creature's health bar and chase it when it retreats. Combat promotes a natural ebb and flow that has kept the series popular with fans since its original PlayStation 2 release 16 years ago. With World, Capcom refined this gameplay loop, making it the most accessible entry to date. Better with friends, World is a brilliant game that offers hundreds of hours of co-op play to those looking for a challenging experience that will test their skills. Once you're done, you can pick up the game's Iceborne expansion pack to bolt on an additional 30 hours of snow-themed content. Brilliant stuff. There's no other game quite like Bloodborne. Sure, it may be an entry in From Software's prestigious Souls series, but Bloodborne is just different. Taking place within the Victorian-inspired town of Yharnam, you play as a hunter, a vicious warrior tasked with clearing the streets of eldritch horrors born from a horrific plague of a supernatural origin. Combat is the real star of this blood-soaked show. Quicker and more aggressive than in previous Souls games, Bloodborne emphasises dodging and counterattacks over hiding behind a shield. It's an intoxicating experience that From Software has never quite matched since, offering a game drenched in a sense of atmosphere that remains wholly unique. Sadly, playing on PlayStation 5 offers no technical benefits, and there's no word of any potential patches from the game's developer, but it doesn't really matter. Bloodborne is still one of the best, no matter how you play. A fan released a patch for Bloodborne this year that gets the game to run at 60 frames per second on PlayStation 4 Pro, which means that Japan Studio and From Software could feasibly release an official update that makes the game run at 4K 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5. Sony, I will do anything to make that a reality. I mean anything. I'll even buy every single copy of Sports Champions on eBay. I'm not kidding, I'll do it. I'll spend the required £4 for 100 copies. Please, just give me that patch. What else do you want me to do? Buy Ratchet and Clank All for One? Was that a Move game? I think that was a Move game. What was the one that had Jak and Daxter in it as well? Did that exist? Was that a game? Was there a Ratchet and Clank Move game that also had Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter in it? Did I dream that? I didn't dream that, did I? Persona 5 was arguably the best JRPG on the PlayStation 4. Thanks to its inclusion as part of the PlayStation Plus collection, it's currently the best on the PlayStation 5 as well. Offering over 100 hours of content for you to chew through, this is worth the price of entry for your subscription alone. The most stylish game on the platform, Persona 5 sees protagonist Joker and his gang of phantom thieves stealing the hearts of Tokyo's seediest citizens, engaging in turn-based battles within palaces modelled after the villain's corrupted psychology. In between the action, Joker can hang out with pals and go on dates, all while attempting to pass his high school exams. It's a wonderful blend between a life sim and a traditional JRPG that can only be found executed to this level of quality within the Persona franchise. You may miss out on the extra goodies that come bundled with the game's royal re-release, but there's plenty to enjoy within this original version of a superb game. And finally, at number 1, we have God of War. One of the best PlayStation 4 games, this soft reboot of the original trilogy trades Greek gods for Norse mythology as an older Kratos escorts his young son across several gorgeously rendered fantasy realms. Combat is weightier and more considered than in previous entries, with the Ghost of Sparta's Leviathan axe a genuine game changer. Throwing around the weighty weapon feels amazing, and recalling it like Thor's hammer, slicing multiple enemies into gooey chunks as it hurtles back towards you, never gets old. But perhaps the most affecting change comes in the form of Kratos' relationship with his son. With a greater emphasis on story this time around, God of War provides a narrative that you'll genuinely care about, bringing new depths to the beloved PlayStation icon. Played in performance mode, the game offers a rock-solid 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5, although we do hope a patch also adds in true 4K support in the future. With a sequel set to release next year, now's the perfect opportunity to wield the Leviathan axe and take the fight to the gods of Valhalla on PlayStation 5. So there we have it, the 10 best games available as part of the PlayStation Plus collection. Which games have you been playing thanks to this generous offer? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do you know what you could do? You could give it a like, and maybe subscribe to the channel for everything PlayStation. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, stay safe, stay healthy. Please someone comment what that Ratchet and Clank game was called that had Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper in it. What was it called? Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.